When you look back on the year that has passed, the losses you've experienced, and the struggles that have weighed heavily on your heart, it's easy to feel as though the best parts of your life have slipped away. You may ask yourself, why did this happen to me? Or how could I have lost so much? But I want you to understand this truth. Nothing is ever truly lost when you trust in the power that lies within you. You see, the loss you feel is merely an illusion, a temporary shadow that is fading, for the Creator of the universe has a plan to restore everything to you and more. The secret to restoration is not found in waiting for things to magically improve, but in knowing with unwavering certainty that everything you need and desire is already yours. The process of restoration begins in your mind, in your heart, and in your soul. God has already put within you the power to manifest your restoration, and that power is your imagination. What you believe and see in your heart is what will become your reality. This is the divine law. In the stillness of your heart, when you close your eyes and truly believe that what you have lost can be restored, you are giving life to a new creation. It's not just about receiving what you once had. It's about allowing yourself to accept something greater, something more aligned with your divine purpose. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your own life. The past may have caused you pain, but in the power of your imagination, the future can become a place of restoration, abundance, and joy. Think of the moments in your life when you felt empty, when you believed there was no way forward. Now envision yourself with everything you've lost being restored to you, only better than before. It's time to shift your mindset, to see with the eyes of faith, knowing that all things work together for your good. When you feel that something is missing, that's just an opportunity for your divine restoration to unfold. It's in the gaps, in the moments of apparent loss, that you are primed for something greater to enter your life. Know that God, the source of all abundance, sees every detail of your life. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. Everything you need, everything you've lost, has been carefully noted and is waiting to be restored. You must stop living in regret or mourning what has passed. For the moment you let go of the past, you are making space for a future beyond your imagination. You are worthy of every good thing, and it is already on its way to you. When you believe that God has already restored everything, when you live as though the blessings you seek are already in your possession, the universe must obey that belief. Your power is in your knowing, in your certainty. Believe that the best is yet to come, and it will manifest before your eyes. Your reality will conform to the vision you hold in your heart. All that you've lost will be given back to you in divine timing, in a way that exceeds your expectations. Restoration isn't about going back to where you were. It's about stepping forward into a life that reflects the fullness of your divine inheritance. God has more in store for you than you can imagine. It's all part of a divine plan to bring you into a higher state of being, one filled with blessings, peace, and unimaginable joy. You have only to believe, to trust in the power of your own divine imagination, and to step boldly into the life that is waiting for you. The restoration of everything you've lost is not something that happens externally, it begins within. As you align your thoughts, your beliefs, and your imagination with the knowing that everything you desire is already done, you open the door for the miraculous to unfold. Remember, you are never separate from the source of all things. You are one with God, and in that oneness you hold the power to restore all that you have lost. Let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, and trust that everything is being made new for you. Step forward now with confidence and peace, knowing that all things are being restored. You are the creator of your reality, and today marks the beginning of the most beautiful chapter of your life, one filled with abundance, love, and divine favor. The best is yet to come, and it will come in ways that will astound you. You will not only regain what you have lost, but you will receive so much more. As you stand in the midst of what may feel like emptiness or despair, remember this truth. The power to restore your life resides not in circumstances, but in your mind, your thoughts, and your beliefs. Everything that has been taken or lost in your life, whether relationships, opportunities, possessions, or peace of mind, can be restored and even surpassed when you begin to realize the true potential of your own consciousness. You are not at the mercy of your external world. The world around you is simply a reflection of what you believe to be true about yourself, and your life is shaped by the images and feelings you hold within. It is vital to understand that restoration is not something that is given to you from an outside source. It is not a favor granted or a kindness bestowed. It is your divine right as a child of God to receive restoration, for all things are yours by divine inheritance. You are worthy of every good thing in this world, and the only thing standing between you and your full restoration is your ability to accept it. Your thoughts, your inner dialogue, and your faith in yourself are the key that unlocks the door to your abundance. You are the architect of your reality, and when you take control of your thoughts, you change the course of your life. The law of the universe, the law of God, is that like attracts like. This is why it is crucial to focus not on what is lost, but on what you desire to receive. When you focus on loss, lack, or what's missing, you continue to attract more of the same into your life. The more you dwell on the absence of what you once had, the more you amplify that absence. But the moment you begin to shift your focus, to believe that what has been lost can and will be restored, the universe responds to that faith by bringing you exactly what you've been believing for. Visualize now, in your mind's eye, everything that you've lost being restored, not as it once was, but as something greater, something better than before. Imagine yourself walking through life full of joy and abundance, surrounded by the very things you once thought were lost forever. Let yourself feel the joy, the peace, the love, and the success that accompany this vision. The more vividly you can see this in your mind, the more power you give to the process of manifestation. You are not merely wishing for these things, you are creating them in the very fabric of your consciousness, and in doing so, you are calling them into existence. Now, trust in the divine timing of the universe. It may not always happen as quickly as you wish, but know that your restoration is in progress and it is unfolding exactly as it should. The restoration of what you have lost is not a linear process. It may take twists and turns, but it is always moving toward your highest good. When you let go of the need to control the how, the when, and the where, you open the floodgates for miracles to pour into your life. Understand that your prayers are already answered even before you ask. Everything you desire is already yours, and the moment you believe it, it begins to materialize. You must also understand that restoration is not just about regaining material things or external circumstances. True restoration begins within. You may have lost your sense of purpose, your confidence, or your sense of self-worth. Perhaps you've been through pain, heartbreak, or disappointment. All of these are temporary conditions, but they do not define who you are. You are divine, and nothing that happens in this world can diminish your inherent worth. Your restoration begins with you. It begins with the realization that you are whole, complete, and powerful just as you are, and nothing can take that away from you. The first step in your journey of restoration is to forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness is a powerful act of releasing the past and allowing space for the future. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or regret, you are holding yourself captive in a prison of your own making. But when you forgive, you free yourself to receive the blessings that are meant for you. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others or letting go of your pain. It is about releasing the power that those experiences have over you. You forgive because you are ready to move forward, because you know that holding on to the past only keeps you from stepping into the fullness of what lies ahead. Along with forgiveness, you must also cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for the life you have now, even if it feels incomplete or imperfect. Gratitude is the key that opens the door to greater blessings. When you can look around you, no matter your circumstances, and find something to be thankful for, you begin to shift your energy from lack to abundance. Gratitude changes your vibration and aligns you with the infinite flow of blessings that are already on their way to you. The universe is constantly providing for you, and when you acknowledge this with a thankful heart, you invite more of God's goodness into your life. Another powerful tool in your journey of restoration is faith. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Faith is not about knowing how things will unfold. It is about trusting that they will unfold in the perfect way and at the perfect time. Faith is about believing in the unseen, in the promises that have been made to you. It is about knowing without a shadow of a doubt that everything you need is already on its way to you. When you place your faith in the divine plan for your life, you let go of the need to control every aspect of your journey, and you allow God's guidance to lead you to exactly where you need to be. As you continue on your path to restoration, remember that you are not alone. God is always with you, guiding you, supporting you, and loving you unconditionally. When you feel lost or uncertain, turn inward and listen to the quiet whispers of your soul. Trust the intuitive nudges, the gentle guidance that leads you toward your restoration. You may not always understand the path, but know that it is always leading you to a better place. Even in moments of darkness, there is always light ahead, and that light is your faith, your trust, and your unwavering belief that everything will be restored in perfect divine timing. You are being guided towards something greater than you can imagine. Every step you take, every thought you think, every decision you make is part of the divine process of your restoration. Trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, working behind the scenes to bring you exactly what you need. Even when you cannot see the way forward, trust that the path is being paved for you. Every loss is merely an opportunity for a greater gain. Every disappointment, a stepping stone toward your highest good. And as you step forward in faith, knowing that your restoration is already in motion, continue to visualize your life as already being whole, already being restored. Do not wait for the external circumstances to change before you believe. Believe first, and then watch as the world around you transforms. The moment you align your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings with the truth that everything is already restored, you create the space for miracles to unfold in your life. Remember, nothing is ever truly lost. It is simply waiting to be rediscovered. The losses you've experienced are not the end of the story. They are merely the beginning of something greater. And as you align with the divine power that resides within you, you will see how everything that was once lost will be restored to you in ways that will amaze you and surpass your wildest expectations. There are times in life when it feels as though we've reached the end of the road. We may look around and see only the remnants of what once was. Dreams that were shattered, relationships that fell apart, opportunities that passed by unnoticed. But in those moments of apparent loss, there is a deeper truth to remember. God's plan for you has never been lost. The loss you feel is but a temporary illusion. And it is in this very moment of perceived absence that God is preparing to restore everything that you have lost. It's easy to focus on what has been taken away, to fixate on the empty spaces in your life, but understand that it is precisely these empty spaces that are creating room for something new. The universe is always working to bring you what you are ready to receive. And just as night follows day, your restoration will follow the losses you've experienced. The dark seasons you have walked through are not without purpose. They are preparing you for something greater, something that will bring you deeper fulfillment and greater joy. The restoration you seek will not come from external circumstances, but from the inner work that you do. It begins within you, in the realm of your thoughts and beliefs. The outer world is a reflection of what is taking place inside of you. If you continue to focus on the emptiness, the loss, the hurt, that is all you will continue to experience. But if you shift your focus to what you wish to receive, to the abundance that is already yours, the universe will respond by bringing those things to you. When you understand that the power to restore what you have lost is already within you, your perspective shifts. You begin to see that you are not at the mercy of the world around you. You are the creator of your own reality, and the thoughts you hold in your mind are the seeds that will grow into your future. If you hold the belief that everything is lost, that there is no hope for restoration, then you will continue to experience loss. in this belief. But if you choose to believe that everything you need is already on its way to you, if you choose to trust that God has already set in motion your restoration, then you are creating the space for miracles to unfold. This is the law of creation. That which you think, believe, and feel is what you manifest in your life. Your beliefs shape your experiences, and when you believe that everything you've lost will be returned to you and more, that belief will bring your restoration into being. This is not a matter of wishful thinking or waiting for something outside of you to change. It is about knowing in the deepest part of your being that what you have lost is already on its way back to you. When you envision your restoration, you are not simply hoping for things to get better. You are creating the circumstances that will bring about that restoration. Your mind is the creative force in your life. Every time you close your eyes and imagine yourself whole, happy, and abundant, you are sending a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. You are aligning yourself with the flow of divine energy that is always working to bring you your highest good. This process of restoration also requires you to trust in divine timing. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we would like, but know this: everything happens in perfect timing. The universe has a plan for you, and while it may not always look like the plan you imagined, it is always the perfect plan. Trust that the pieces are being put into place for you, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. God is working in your life behind the scenes to restore everything that has been lost. Your only job is to trust the process, to believe that all will be well, and to hold on to the vision of the life you desire. One of the most powerful tools in your restoration is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life. When you are grateful for the things you still have, the people in your life, and the opportunities that are on their way, you begin to magnetize more of those blessings into your life. It is not about ignoring the losses you've experienced, but about choosing to see beyond them, to look for the good that is already present. When you do this, you align yourself with the energy of abundance and open the doors for your restoration to unfold. Forgiveness also plays a key role in the restoration process. You may feel anger, resentment, or frustration over the things you've lost, especially if it feels as though others were responsible for your pain. But holding on to these negative emotions only keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of others. It is about releasing the grip that these emotions have over you. Forgiveness is a way of freeing yourself from the past, so you can step into the future with a heart open to receiving the blessings that God has for you. When you forgive, you create space in your heart and mind for your restoration to take place. You allow yourself to let go of what was and embrace what is to come. And as you forgive, you begin to heal, not only emotionally, but spiritually. Your soul is made whole, and the flow of divine energy that was once blocked is now free to move through you, bringing with it the restoration you so deeply desire. But it's not just forgiveness of others that is necessary. You must also forgive yourself. Perhaps you have blamed yourself for what you've lost, or you've carried the weight of guilt, shame, or regret. These feelings only hold you back from experiencing the fullness of your divine restoration. You are not meant to carry the burden of your past mistakes. You are meant to learn from them, to grow, and to move forward into a new season of life. When you forgive yourself, you release the chains of self-judgment, and you free yourself to receive all that God has in store for you. Alongside forgiveness, self-love is a vital component of your restoration. You must love yourself enough to believe that you are deserving of everything that God has promised you. You are worthy of abundance, of love, of happiness, and of peace. The restoration of your life begins with the restoration of your own sense of worth. When you see yourself as worthy of God's blessings, you open the door for those blessings to flow into your life. Your divine inheritance is waiting for you, and the moment you acknowledge your own worthiness, you align yourself with that inheritance. Remember, restoration is not just about what you will receive, it is about who you are becoming. The losses you have experienced have shaped you, molded you into a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate person. Every challenge you've faced has been an opportunity for growth, and as you continue to heal and restore, you will emerge as a more empowered version of yourself, ready to embrace the fullness of all that God has for you. You're being prepared for something greater than you could have ever imagined. The best is yet to come, and it is coming in ways that will surprise and delight you. God is not only restoring the things that you have lost, He is also creating new opportunities for you. The path ahead is filled with endless possibilities, and your divine restoration is only the beginning of the journey. When you trust in the process, when you align your thoughts and beliefs with the truth of who you are, and when you embrace the power of forgiveness, gratitude, and self-love, you are setting the stage for a future beyond your wildest dreams. Let go of the fear, the doubt, and the uncertainty. Trust that everything you need is already on its way to you, and that your restoration is unfolding perfectly, even if you can't yet see it. Believe in the power of your imagination, in the strength of your faith, and in the love that God has for you. You are being restored, and nothing, absolutely nothing, is beyond the reach of the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. Keep your heart open, your mind focused on your desires, and your soul aligned with the infinite flow of abundance. All that you have lost will be returned to you in greater measure, and you will emerge from this season of restoration stronger, more peaceful, and more fulfilled than ever before. The path to restoration is not always linear, and it may seem at times that the setbacks are greater than the progress. But do not be deceived by appearances. Every step forward, even when it feels small, is part of the divine plan unfolding in your life. There are moments when you will question if your dreams will ever manifest, or if the things you've lost will ever be returned. But understand this: the universe does not operate in terms of lack. It operates in terms of abundance, and the return of what you have lost is inevitable when you align yourself with the truth of your own worthiness. Consider the seasons of nature. There are times of growth and times of dormancy. The trees may appear barren in the winter, but beneath the surface, the roots are still alive, preparing for the next season of growth. Just because you cannot see the growth taking place does not mean it is not happening. Similarly, just because you cannot yet see the full manifestation of your restoration does not mean it is not already in motion. Trust in the unseen workings of the divine, for in the same way the seasons change, so too does your life undergo cycles of growth, renewal, and restoration. When you plant a seed, you cannot immediately see the fruit. It must first take root in the soil, and that process takes time. The soil must be rich, and the seed must be nourished by water and light. Your restoration is like that seed, waiting to take root within you. It is being nurtured by your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. The more you focus on the positive, the more you align with the flow of restoration. And just as the seed grows into a tree, so will your life transform from one of loss to one of abundance. This is why your inner state is so vital to your restoration. If you continue to feed yourself negative thoughts and feelings, if you remain stuck in the belief that what has been lost can never be returned, you are not giving your restoration the proper conditions to grow. Your thoughts must be like the sunlight that nourishes the seed, and your feelings must be like the water that helps it to sprout. In order for your life to be restored, you must choose to focus on the good, on the abundant, on the possibilities that await you. As you begin to align with the flow of restoration, it is important to understand that your desires are not random. The things you have lost were once in your life for a reason, and those things will be returned in a way that is even better than before. Perhaps what you lost was a job, a relationship, or even a sense of purpose. You may feel that the loss of these things has defined you, and without them you are incomplete. But God's plan is far greater than your own understanding. What you thought was lost was only a part of the larger plan that is unfolding for you. You may have experienced rejection or failure in the past, and these experiences may have led you to believe that you are not worthy of success or love. But understand that rejection is not a reflection of your worth. Rejection is simply a redirection. It is the universe guiding you away from something that was not meant for you, so that it can make room for something greater. When you can accept that the things you lost were simply part of a greater plan, you can release the pain and the fear that come with loss and allow the new blessings to enter your life. Trust that the universe is never withholding from you, but rather guiding you toward your highest good. Every setback is an opportunity for redirection, and every loss is an invitation to grow and to learn. When you embrace the losses, you make space for what is truly meant for you. The divine is always working in your favor, even when it seems like the world is working against you. What you perceive as loss is simply preparation for the greater blessings that are on their way. Now is the time to let go of any attachment to the past. When you hold on to the past, you keep yourself trapped in the cycle of loss. But when you release the past, you open yourself to the future. It is only when you release the grip of attachment that you can truly allow the restoration to take place. Holding on to what was keeps you from embracing what is to come. And so, release. Release the pain. Release the regrets. Release the fear that the future will look like the past. Trust that God's plan for you is filled with beauty, and when you open your hands to receive, you are inviting those blessings into your life. As you release the old, be sure to take time to celebrate the new. It is easy to become so focused on what is missing that you forget to acknowledge what you still have. You may have lost many things, but there is always something to be grateful for. Every moment of gratitude shifts your energy and aligns you with the flow of abundance. The more grateful you are, the more you attract into your life to be grateful for. Gratitude is the key to manifesting your restoration, and when you focus on what you are thankful for, you create a powerful magnet for more blessings. The restoration of everything you have lost is not just about receiving back what you once had, but about receiving what is truly meant for you. The universe will not just return the things you've lost, it will give you back more. It will give you back in greater measure more than you could have ever imagined. What was taken from you was never meant to define you. What is coming to you will be far greater than what you had before, because God's plan for you is always filled with more than enough. Remember, restoration takes time. It is not a quick fix. It is a process, a journey that unfolds step by step. You may not see the full picture right now, but that is okay. Trust that the pieces are falling into place, even when you cannot see them. Have faith that everything is working out in your favor, and that the universe is always guiding you toward your highest good. The moment you release your need for immediate results is the moment that everything begins to fall into place. Trust the process, and trust that all is well. When you let go of your attachment to the outcome, you allow the universe to surprise you in ways you never thought possible. You no longer need to control the process. You no longer need to force things into being. Instead, you surrender to the flow of life and trust that everything is working out in perfect order. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength. It is the strength to trust in the divine timing of your restoration and to know that you are always being guided toward your highest good. So, hold on to your vision of what is to come. Keep your heart open to the blessings that are on their way, and trust that God is restoring everything you have lost. The universe is always working on your behalf, and the best is yet to come. Believe that everything is happening for you, not to you. The path ahead may not always be clear, but trust that it is leading you towards something greater than you could have ever imagined. Keep faith in the process, and keep your mind focused on what you desire. In time, everything will be restored, and more. The restoration that you seek is already on its way, and when it arrives, it will be everything you've dreamed of, and more. When you look at your life and consider the things you've lost, it's important to understand that the divine operates in a way that is far beyond human understanding. We are often so focused on what we can see, touch, and measure that we forget there is a greater force at work, weaving the fabric of our lives in ways we cannot always perceive. What you have lost is simply a part of the larger plan being orchestrated for your highest good. But with this understanding, each experience, each loss has prepared you for something even greater. Do not let the illusion of loss fool you into thinking that the story is over. The narrative is still being written, and the most powerful chapters are still to come. When the tide of life seems to take away what you hold dear, it's not the end. It's simply the beginning of something new. Life doesn't end when something is taken, rather it shifts. The divine knows your needs even before you do, and in times of loss it is often preparing the ground for something far richer than what you can see. Remember that not everything that leads your life does so permanently. Many things are merely passing through, making space for something of even greater worth. When you release them, you are not left with nothing. You are left with the potential for something more aligned with your true desires. You have not been forgotten. You've not been abandoned. In fact, the universe has been working behind the scenes, creating an environment in which your dreams, your desires, and your restoration can flourish. There is a divine intelligence that always has your back, always guiding you toward the best version of your life. Your job is not to force the restoration, but to be patient and trust that it is on its way. Your purpose lies in learning how to restoration about life, which also happens when you feel your purpose. Just as a flower cannot bloom before its time, you too must trust in the timing of your restoration. The more you trust, the more you allow the universe to work on your behalf. Think of the times in your life when something you once wanted so badly didn't work out. At the time, it may have felt like the end of the road, but looking back, you can see that what you wanted wasn't necessarily what you needed. Maybe what you desired at the time would have led you down a path that wasn't right for you. Maybe the timing wasn't aligned, or perhaps the opportunity wasn't as perfect as it first appeared. In hindsight, you can see how the divine intervened to protect you from a situation that wasn't meant for you. Your restoration comes in part through divine protection and divine timing. The losses you've experienced were part of a greater protection that ensures your ultimate happiness. As you begin to embrace the notion that everything happens for a reason, the process of restoration becomes smoother. You no longer resist the changes that come your way. You no longer fight against the current of life, but instead allow it to carry you toward your destiny. Every wave, every change is simply part of the journey. And with each change comes the potential for growth and restoration. In moments when doubt creeps in and you begin to wonder whether things will truly be restored, remind yourself of your power. You are not a victim of life. You are a co-creator. You have the ability to shape your reality, to influence the outcomes, and to align yourself with the abundance that is available to you. The key lies in your belief. The moment you truly believe that everything you have lost will be restored, you open the door for it to happen. The power of belief cannot be overstated. It is the seed from which your restoration grows. As you cultivate the belief that you are worthy of restoration, you create the conditions necessary for it to manifest. The law of attraction, as it is often called, is a law that never fails. You attract what you believe and what you focus on. If you continue to focus on the loss, on the absence of what was, you will perpetuate that feeling of lack. But if you shift your focus to the future, to the life that is unfolding before you, you will begin to attract what is meant for you. And so, by focusing on the restoration, by visualizing it with clarity and faith, you are pulling it toward you, like a magnet drawing in what is already yours. It is also important to recognize that restoration is not a return to the past. The things that you've lost may return in a different form, but they will never be the same. And that is not a bad thing. The restoration that is coming to you is a higher form of what you once had. It will be more aligned with your true self, more fulfilling, more expansive. The loss you experienced may have seemed like a step backward, but in reality, it was simply a setup for a leap forward. The restoration is not a duplication of the past. It is an elevation to a higher version of the life you once knew. Imagine yourself in a new chapter of life, where the things you've lost are returned to you in a way that surprises and delights you. Picture the life you desire in vivid detail, and feel the emotions of that life as if it is happening right now. Feel the joy, the peace, the abundance flowing into your experience. See the people, the opportunities, and the experiences that you once thought were gone. Know that the universe is rearranging things behind the scenes to bring them back to you in a way that will surpass your expectations. It may take time and it may require patience, but know this: it is on its way. Your faith, your trust, and your belief are what will manifest the restoration that is destined for you. In the moments when doubt arises, return to the truth that everything is working out in your favor. Trust that the divine knows exactly what you need and that you are worthy of receiving it. As you continue on your journey, remember that the law of divine timing governs all things. There is no rush. The restoration will come when it is time. And when it arrives, it will be everything you have dreamed of and more. Every setback, every disappointment, every loss was merely preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Trust the process, trust the timing, and trust that you are worthy of the abundant life that is now being restored to you. So, as you stand in this moment, filled with hope and expectation, know that the best is yet to come. Everything you have lost will be returned to you and more. The life that you desire is already in motion, and the restoration is unfolding before your eyes. The divine intelligence that created the universe is guiding you, supporting you, and ensuring that your desires are fulfilled. You are not alone in this process, and you are not forgotten. And everything you need is already on its way. All you need to do is believe, trust, and allow it to manifest in your life. It is inevitable. What you have lost will return. The universe has a plan, and that plan is for your highest good. You are worthy of all the blessings that are now on their way to you. The restoration of your life is already underway, and with each passing day, it is becoming more and more apparent. Believe in this truth and watch as the divine hand works in your life, restoring everything you've lost and more. The restoration is not just a return to what was. It is a new beginning, a higher version of the life you once knew, filled with greater abundance, peace, and fulfillment. Trust that it is already here and that the best is yet to come. When you find yourself in moments of uncertainty, questioning whether your restoration will truly come, it is essential to recognize that your perception of time is limited. The universe operates on a divine rhythm, one that is beyond human comprehension. What may seem like a delay or an endless waiting period is, in fact, a moment of preparation. The things you desire, the things you need, are making their way toward you in divine order. They are aligning with your energy, your frequency, and your belief, and when the time is right, they will unfold in your life. The process may be invisible to the naked eye, but it is real and powerful. When you've lost something, there's often a temptation to cling to the past, to try to recreate what was, or to hold on to the memory of what used to be. But understand this: the past can never truly return in its original form. Life moves forward, ever evolving, and the divine knows that what lies ahead is even greater than what you've left behind. When you embrace this truth, you begin to release your attachment to the past and make room for the new blessings that are coming your way. The process of restoration is not a return to what you had. It is the manifestation of something even more magnificent, something that has been divinely orchestrated just for you. Your faith is the key that unlocks the door to your restoration. The more you trust in the unseen, the more you align with the divine flow of abundance that is ever present. It's in the moments when you feel discouraged or overwhelmed that your faith is tested the most. But remember this: your faith is not in vain. Every time you choose to believe, even when you cannot see the outcome, you are planting a seed that will eventually grow into the manifestation of your desire. Trusting that the divine has already taken care of the details, even when the evidence isn't visible, is the true test of your faith. In the world we live in, it's easy to get caught up in the noise of the external world, in the opinions and judgments of others, in the rush to see results. But real transformation happens in the quiet moments, in the spaces between thoughts, where your connection to the divine is most felt. In these moments, you are reminded of your own power, of the fact that you are a co-creator in this process. When you are still and quiet, you allow the energy of your desires to flow to you more effortlessly. You allow yourself to receive what has always been yours, waiting for you to realize it. There will be moments, no doubt, when the temptation to look back at your losses will try to pull you back into the past. But know that you are not meant to go backwards. The divine is not restoring your past. It is restoring you to a higher version of yourself. It is aligning you with the life you were always meant to live. The restoration may look different than what you expected, but it will always be better. The divine intelligence at work in your life knows what you need better than you do. It knows the exact form in which your desires should come to you, and it will not fail to deliver. Imagine yourself walking down a path that leads you to a future of abundance, peace, and fulfillment. This path is yours, and it is already unfolding. Each step you take is bringing you closer to the restoration that is waiting for you. Do not be discouraged by the obstacles that may arise along the way. These obstacles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones that help you grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared to receive the blessings that are coming your way. The path to restoration is not always smooth, but it is always worth it. The lessons you learn along the way are the very things that prepare you for the greatness that lies ahead. As you continue on this journey, remember that the process of restoration is not just about receiving what you've lost. It is about becoming the person you were meant to be. It is about stepping into the fullness of your power, embracing your divine nature, and recognizing that you are deserving of all the goodness that life has to offer. You are not defined by your losses. You are defined by your resilience, your faith, and your ability to rise above any challenge that comes your way. There is a powerful truth in knowing that you are always connected to the divine. You are never alone in this journey. Even when it seems like the world has turned its back on you, the divine is always with you, guiding you, supporting you, and ensuring that your desires are fulfilled. The moment you truly grasp this truth, you begin to move forward with a sense of certainty and peace, knowing that your restoration is already underway. The universe is not punishing you. It is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine.
As you move forward, let go of the need to control every aspect of your life. The more you let go and trust in the divine timing of your restoration, the easier the process will become. You don't need to know every detail of how things will unfold. You don't need to know the when or the how. All you need to do is believe, trust, and align yourself with the flow of life. When you do this, you will find that things begin to fall into place in ways that you could never have planned for. Your restoration will come in the most unexpected ways, and it will exceed your wildest dreams. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. There are no final endings, only new beginnings. The losses you have experienced were not the end of your story, but rather the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where your dreams come true, where your desires are met, and where you step into the fullness of your power. You are being prepared for this chapter right now, and everything that has happened in your life has been part of the divine plan to bring you to this point. Do not despair, for the divine is with you, and your restoration is assured. Trust that everything you have lost will be returned to you in its perfect form, and know that the best is yet to come. The life that you desire is already on its way, and with each passing day, you are drawing closer to it. The universe is working on your behalf, and the divine intelligence that created the universe is guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. All you have to do is believe, trust, and allow it to unfold. Your restoration is not a matter of chance, it is a divine certainty. The more you trust in this truth, the quicker the process will unfold. You are worthy of the life you desire, and the universe is aligning everything in your favor to bring it to you. You are not alone in this process. You are supported, you are guided, and you are loved. Keep your faith, stay open to the possibilities, and Trust that everything you have lost will be returned to you in perfect divine timing. Believe this truth with all your heart. The divine is always working for your good, and your restoration is coming, just as it has been promised. Hold your vision with faith, trust in the process, and allow yourself to be restored to a life of abundance, peace, and fulfillment. It is already done. As you stand in this moment, remember that everything you have experienced, every loss, every challenge, has only been a part of the divine preparation for your restoration. The path may not always be clear, but trust that the universe is guiding you toward your highest good. You are not defined by what you've lost, but by the strength, resilience, and faith you continue to carry within you. Your restoration is already in motion, and it is far greater than anything you can imagine. Keep your heart open, your faith unwavering, and your mind focused on the abundant future that is unfolding for you. Know this: everything you have lost will be returned to you in divine order, more magnificent than you could ever have dreamed. Trust in the process and step forward with confidence, because your restoration is certain and the best is yet to come.
There is a divine flow of abundance, a stream of blessings that is always moving toward you, waiting to manifest in your life. Yet many do not receive it, not because God has withheld it, but because they have unknowingly blocked it. You are not meant to struggle to beg for what is already yours. The blessings of God are not earned through suffering. They are received through alignment, through faith, through the awareness that you are already one with the divine. But when you live in doubt, in fear, in resistance, you stand in the way of what is already prepared for you. Doubt is the first great barrier. The moment you question whether you are worthy, whether God hears you, whether your desires are possible, you step out of the flow. Faith is not merely hoping for something to happen. It is knowing that it is already done. When you truly believe, when you assume it is already yours, you open the gates for blessings to rush in. But if you hold on to the fear that things may not work out, if you dwell in thoughts of lack and impossibility, you shut the door on what was meant to be yours all along. Your words shape your reality. Every complaint, every word of frustration, every declaration of lack is an affirmation you send into creation. When you speak as though you are lacking, as though you are struggling, you are affirming that state to be true. God has given you the power of creation through your own spoken word. Yet many use this power to affirm the very things they do not want. Speak only what you wish to experience. Declare your abundance, your healing, your success, and let your words align with the blessings that are meant for you. Unforgiveness is another invisible wall that stands between you and the blessings of God. When you hold on to resentment, when you refuse to release the past, you keep yourself chained to pain. God cannot pour new blessings into hands that refuse to let go of old burdens. Forgiveness is not for others, it is for you. It is the key that unlocks the flow of divine favor. The moment you release the bitterness, the moment you choose to let go, you will feel the shift. Doors that once seemed closed will open, and blessings that were delayed will begin to manifest. You cannot receive what you are not prepared to handle. Many cry out for greater blessings, yet they do not create space to receive them. A person who longs for financial abundance but does not practice discipline with their current resources is not yet aligned for the increase. A person who desires love but clings to the wounds of past relationships has not yet opened their heart to receive. Preparation is a sign of faith. When you make room for what you have asked for, when you walk as though it is already yours, you step into the reality where your blessings flow effortlessly. The energy you give out determines what returns to you. If you live in jealousy, in comparison, in the bitterness of watching others succeed while you wait, you repel the very blessings you seek. What you celebrate in others will be multiplied in your own life. The person who rejoices when others are blessed shows God that they are ready to receive the same. But the one who harbors envy, who speaks against the success of others, who doubts their own divine portion, closes themselves off from what is rightfully theirs. God's blessings flow where faith, gratitude, and alignment reside. You do not chase them, you do not strive for them. They come as a natural response to your belief, to your surrender, to your willingness to walk in the reality of what is already yours. The moment you let go of fear, of doubt, of resistance, you will see what was always there, waiting for you. The blessings of God are like the air you breathe, always present, always available, always surrounding you. Yet, just as one can hold their breath and deny themselves oxygen, so too can one block the flow of divine favor through doubt, fear, and misalignment. You are not separate from the blessings you seek. They exist within you, waiting for recognition, waiting for permission to unfold. But until you remove the barriers within your own mind and heart, you will continue to live as though what is already yours is far away. Many believe they must struggle to earn God's blessings, that suffering is a prerequisite to favor. But God is not withholding anything from you. He does not require you to prove your worth through pain. You were already chosen, already anointed, already given everything necessary to live in abundance. It is not God who delays blessings, it is the conditioned mind that refuses to accept them. The idea that you must fight, beg, or prove yourself keeps you trapped in an illusion of lack, when in truth all things are already finished. The moment you wake up to this reality, the moment you stop striving and start receiving, you will see the power that has been within you all along. There are those who spend their days praying for miracles, yet live in a state of contradiction. They pray for provision, but constantly speak words of lack. They pray for love, but hold resentment in their hearts. They pray for healing, but dwell in thoughts of sickness. Prayer is not about words alone. It is about alignment. If your words say one thing, but your energy, thoughts, and actions say another, you are blocking what is meant for you. True prayer is assuming the feeling of the answered prayer, walking in the reality of what you have asked for, believing that it is already yours. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to divine blessings. Fear tells you that you are not ready, that things will go wrong, that you are unworthy. But fear is a liar. Fear is the voice of separation, the illusion that keeps you from stepping into what is already prepared for you. Every time you allow fear to take root, you create a delay in your blessings. But when you move in faith, when you trust, even when you do not see, you step into the realm where miracles are natural, where doors open effortlessly, where the impossible becomes reality. Faith is not passive, it is a force, a decision, a state of being. It is walking in confidence before the evidence appears. It is knowing that just as the sun rises without your effort, your blessings too are unfolding without struggle. When you truly believe, you no longer beg, you no longer doubt, you walk as though it is already done. The moment you step into this knowing, your life transforms. Many hold on to relationships, situations, and mindsets that no longer serve them, thinking that by keeping them they are preserving security. But God cannot bless closed hands. When you cling to what is no longer aligned with your growth, you prevent yourself from receiving what is next. Letting go is not loss, it is making space for greater things. If you feel as though blessings are delayed, ask yourself, what am I refusing to release? What am I afraid to let go of? What old version of myself am I still clinging to? The blessings meant for you require you to step into a new level of faith, a new level of trust. The sooner you release what no longer serves you, the sooner you will receive what was always meant for you. Gratitude is the activator of blessings. The person who complains, who focuses on what is missing, who constantly speaks of their hardships, creates an energy of lack. But the person who gives thanks, even before the manifestation appears, shifts their entire reality. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual law. When you are grateful, you declare that you already have what you seek, and in doing so, you call more of it into existence. Every moment you spend in gratitude is a moment spent in alignment with the abundance of God. The company you keep also affects the flow of blessings in your life. There are people who drain your energy, who fill your mind with doubt, who speak words of fear and limitation. If you surround yourself with negativity, with those who do not believe in divine favor, you will find it difficult to walk in faith. You must be intentional about the voices you allow into your spirit. Seek those who uplift, who inspire, who remind you of who you truly are. Your surroundings either pull you into alignment or drag you into resistance. Choose wisely. Self-doubt is another silent destroyer of blessings. The moment you question your ability, your worth, your purpose, you shut the door on what God has already given you. You were created for something greater. The dreams in your heart were not placed there by accident. If God has given you a vision, He has also given you the power to fulfill it. But if you do not believe in yourself, if you allow the voices of doubt to dictate your actions, you will live beneath your divine potential. The person who trusts in their own God-given power moves with confidence, speaks with authority, and manifests with ease. Many think they must wait for the perfect moment to act, to believe, to step into their purpose. But waiting is another form of resistance. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. The person who waits for everything to be right before moving forward will always find an excuse to delay. But the person who steps out in faith, even when the path is unclear, will find the doors open as they walk. Action is a declaration of faith. When you move, when you take steps toward what you seek, you activate the divine flow. You show God that you are ready. The blessings of God are not random. They follow the law of faith, the law of alignment, the law of belief. If you are not seeing them manifest, examine yourself. Look at your thoughts, your words, your actions, your expectations. Are they in harmony with what you desire? Are they in agreement with the abundance that is already yours? God is not withholding from you. He is waiting for you to align, to believe, to receive. Your mind is the gateway to all things. What you entertain, what you dwell on, what you give energy to becomes your reality. If you focus on fear, you will experience more things to be afraid of. If you focus on lack, you will see more lack. But if you focus on abundance, if you live in the awareness that all things are already yours, then your reality will shift to reflect that truth. The world around you is simply a mirror of the world within you. Change within, and the external must follow. You do not need to beg for what is already yours. You do not need to struggle for what has already been given. All that is required is faith, alignment, and the willingness to step into the reality of your blessings. The moment you remove the barriers, the moment you stop blocking what is meant for you, you will see that everything you have been waiting for has been waiting. When you begin to shift your mindset, to change how you view the world around you, you tap into a power far greater than anything you could ever imagine. You are a being of divine creation, equipped with all that you need to live a life of abundance and peace. But if you live as though you are separate from your blessings, as though they are beyond your reach, you continue to block the very thing that has already been given to you. The life you desire is not a future event. It is here, now, in the unseen realm, waiting to be recognized by you. The challenge lies not in God's timing, but in your ability to accept what is already yours. Consider the truth that everything you need is already within you, already prepared and already available. There is no scarcity in the divine mind. There is no shortage of love, health, wealth, or success in the universe. The only thing standing between you and your blessings is your own belief in limitation. You do not have to wait for the right circumstances to manifest what you desire. You can begin by changing your internal environment. When you change the way you see yourself, when you shift from a place of doubt and lack to one of faith and abundance, the world around you must change to reflect that new vision. The things you ask for are not far away. They do not live in some distant future that you must work tirelessly toward. They exist now in the realm of your thoughts, in the realm of your imagination. The moment you align your mind, your words, your actions, and your emotions with the belief that your desires are already fulfilled, The universe must yield to that truth. But if you continue to hold the belief that your blessings are far off, that you must strive endlessly to receive them, you block the flow of divine favor. The blessings you seek are already part of who you are. They are not somewhere out there waiting for you to find them. They are right here, waiting for you to see them. One of the greatest traps that keep people from experiencing their blessings is impatience. The desire for instant results, the urge to rush the process, to see things manifest immediately, causes many to doubt and lose faith. But divine timing is perfect. God does not work in haste. The process of manifestation takes time, but it is a time of preparation, a time of growth, a time of becoming. Just because you cannot see the physical evidence of your blessings does not mean they are not on the way. The invisible realm is where everything begins, and it is in that unseen space that your blessings are being prepared for you. Trust the process. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Another barrier that people often place between themselves and their blessings is attachment to outcomes. The moment you become overly attached to how, when, or where your blessings will come, you limit the infinite possibilities available to you. God's ways are not your ways, and His timing is beyond your understanding. Let go of the need to control the outcome. Release the expectation of how things should unfold, and trust that the divine plan is always working in your favor. When you attach yourself to a specific outcome, you close yourself off to the many ways in which your blessings can manifest. By surrendering control, you open yourself to receive what is yours in the most miraculous way. It is also essential to recognize that you are always creating your reality, whether consciously or unconsciously. Every thought, word, and action is shaping your future. If you consistently dwell on what is wrong, on what you lack, on what is difficult, you are affirming that reality into being. But if you choose to focus on gratitude, on possibilities, on the greatness that lies ahead, you open the door for those things to manifest in your life. You are the creator of your experience. The world around you is a reflection of the thoughts you hold, the beliefs you carry, and the energy you put forth. Change your focus, change your reality. One of the most powerful ways to shift your energy and allow blessings to flow is through the practice of forgiveness. Holding on to grudges, anger, or past hurts keeps you tethered to the past, preventing you from moving forward into the future that is already waiting for you. Unforgiveness is a heavy burden that blocks the flow of divine blessings. When you forgive, you release yourself from the chains of the past and free up space for the new. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing your own heart to receive the abundance that is already yours. The moment you let go of the past, you step into the fullness of the present, where blessings are waiting to be claimed. When you begin to see yourself as worthy of every good thing, you change the way you show up in the world. Many people block their blessings because they do not feel worthy of them. They feel undeserving of love, wealth, or success, and so they act in ways that reinforce that belief. They push away opportunities, sabotage relationships, and live in a state of self-doubt. But the truth is, you are worthy. You were created for greatness. God has already given you everything you need to live a life of abundance. The key is to align with that truth. The moment you accept your worthiness, the moment you stop living in the shadow of self-doubt and insecurity, the blessings begin to flow freely. It is important to note that the blessings you receive are often in direct alignment with the energy you give. If you are constantly giving out love, kindness, and positivity, you will find that love, kindness, and positivity come back to you in abundance. The law of sowing and reaping is a divine principle that governs the universe. You cannot sow negativity and expect to reap positivity. You cannot sow fear and expect to reap faith. The energy you put into the world is the energy that returns to you. So if you want to experience more blessings, become a vessel of blessings for others. Give freely, love generously, and watch as the universe returns it to you 100-fold. Another significant barrier that often blocks blessings is attachment to material things. The pursuit of wealth, success, and status can become a trap if you place your identity in them. When you base your worth on what you have or what you do, you block the deeper blessings of peace, love, and fulfillment. The truth is that material things come and go, but the divine blessings that are meant for you are eternal. When you release your attachment to material success and focus instead on spiritual growth and inner peace, you align with a higher flow of blessings that transcend anything the world can offer. It is essential to cultivate a mindset of abundance. Many people live with a scarcity mentality, believing that there is not enough to go around, that there are limitations to what can be achieved or received. But the truth is that abundance is limitless. There is no shortage of love, opportunity, or success in the universe. Abundance is your birthright. When you shift your mindset from one of lack to one of abundance, you will find that everything you need is already available to you. It is also vital to understand that your blessings are often tied to your purpose. The more aligned you are with your divine purpose, the more blessings flow into your life. When you live in harmony with the calling on your life, when you walk in the direction of your dreams and passions, the universe opens up to support you. The blessings that you seek are not separate from your purpose. They are a natural byproduct of living authentically and fulfilling your calling. The power of belief cannot be underestimated. If you do not believe that blessings are possible, that they are coming to you, you block them. Faith is not just wishing for something, it is knowing that it is already yours, that it is already done. When you believe that you are worthy, that your desires are valid, and that God is always working in your favor, you align with the flow of blessings that are always available to you. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to the life you desire. And finally, remember that everything begins within you. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. If you are not receiving the blessings you desire, look within. Look at your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, and your actions. Are they aligned with the life you want to create? If not, it is time to make a shift. Change your thoughts, change your emotions, and change your actions, and you will see your outer world begin to transform. The blessings you seek are already within you, waiting to be unlocked. The key is in your hands. When you realize that the power to transform your life lies within you, the journey of unlocking your blessings becomes a conscious choice. A choice to step into your true potential, to embrace the divine energy that flows through every fiber of your being. Every time you think of your future, every time you visualize your desires, you are actively participating in the creation of your reality. But if your thoughts are filled with doubt, fear, or worry, you are subconsciously blocking the manifestation of your desires. It's not that your blessings are being withheld from you, but rather that you are pushing them away through your own mental resistance. The power of your thoughts is a force that shapes your experiences. Each thought you entertain has the potential to create your reality. If you continue to dwell on the negative, if you continue to focus on what is not working, you affirm that reality into being. You must recognize that you are the creator of your circumstances, and your thoughts are the brush strokes painting the canvas of your life. If your thoughts are filled with images of lack, fear, and struggle, your experience will reflect those very things. But if you choose to see yourself in alignment with abundance, if you choose to see the world as a place of infinite possibilities, you open the door for blessings to flood into your life. You must also understand that your words are just as powerful as your thoughts. Your words create vibrations in the universe that resonate with the energy of your beliefs. When you speak words of faith, hope, and gratitude, you align with the divine flow of blessings. But when your words are filled with complaints, doubts, and negativity, you are reinforcing the very blocks that keep your blessings from flowing. Every time you speak, you are setting the tone for your reality. Are your words building your dreams or reinforcing your fears? Actions are another important piece of the puzzle. Words and thoughts are powerful, but they must be backed by action. If you believe that your blessings are on their way, but you do not take steps in the direction of your dreams, you are still blocking the flow. Action is the bridge that connects your inner world to your outer world. when you take inspired action, when you move with faith toward your goals, you show the universe that you are ready to receive what is already yours. But action without belief is futile. Without belief, no amount of effort will bring the results you desire. You must cultivate a strong, unwavering faith that the blessings you seek are already on their way to you. This belief must be firm, unshakable, and free from doubt. When you believe that your blessings are already done, your actions will align with that belief and the universe will respond accordingly. We are capable, but if you are conscious, we cannot realize that belief is as simple as a meal. A vital part of this process is patience. The world we live in often encourages instant gratification. We are conditioned to expect quick results. But divine timing does not work on our terms. The blessings you are seeking are being prepared for you, and they will come at the right time. But if you become frustrated, if you begin to doubt because you don't see immediate results, resistance blocks the flow of blessings. Trust in the process. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when you cannot see the full picture. The more patient you are, the more aligned you become with the natural rhythm of life, and the more quickly your blessings will come to fruition. As you continue to open yourself to the flow of divine blessings, it is important to let go of the past. The past is filled with experiences, beliefs, and emotions that no longer serve you. Holding on to past wounds, regrets, or resentments creates an energetic block that prevents you from receiving the blessings that are meant for you. The past is a closed chapter, and to move forward, you must release it. When you forgive, when you let go of past hurts, you free yourself to receive the abundance that is already yours. Letting go of the past is also about letting go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. Many people carry limiting beliefs about themselves, about what is possible, about what they are worthy of. These beliefs create barriers between you and your blessings. If you believe that you are not worthy of success, love, or abundance, you will unconsciously create situations that reinforce that belief. But when you choose to release these limiting beliefs, you open yourself up to a life of unlimited possibilities. You must consciously choose to believe that you are worthy of every good thing that comes your way. You must believe that the divine has created you for greatness, and that all the blessings you desire are already on their way. One of the greatest obstacles to receiving blessings is the attachment to how things should unfold. We often get caught up in the how, believing that we need to control the process in order to get the results we want. But the universe has its own way of delivering what you need. When you release the need to control how your blessings manifest, you allow space for divine intervention. Trust that God knows exactly how to deliver what you need, and trust that His plan is greater than anything you could imagine. Sometimes the best things come to us in unexpected ways, and by letting go of the how, you allow room for miracles to unfold. In addition to letting go of control, it is crucial to release the fear of failure. Fear is a powerful force that can paralyze you and prevent you from stepping into your full potential. Fear is a reflection of your belief in limitation. If you are afraid to fail, you are affirming that failure is possible. But failure is not an option when you believe in the infinite power of God. Success is your birthright. Your dreams are possible. Do not let fear hold you back from embracing the life that is waiting for you. Fear is only an illusion, and when you let go of it, you unlock the door to your blessings. You must also be willing to embrace the unknown. Often, people block their blessings because they are afraid of what lies ahead. The future is uncertain, and the unknown can feel uncomfortable. But it is only through stepping into the unknown that you create the space for growth, transformation, and manifestation. The universe will not always show you the entire path ahead of time. It will show you one step, and it is up to you to trust and take that step. The blessings you seek are often hidden in the unknown, and it is only by stepping forward with faith that you will uncover them. Along with embracing the unknown comes the power of self-trust. Many people block their blessings because they do not trust themselves. They doubt their own abilities, their decisions, and their intuition. but you were created to thrive. You have everything you need within you to succeed. The more you trust yourself, the more you align with your divine purpose. Trust your inner guidance. Trust the whispers of your heart. When you trust yourself, you trust the divine energy that flows through you, and you begin to see the blessings that are always available to you. Another crucial aspect of receiving your blessings is being open to receiving. Many people block their blessings because they do not feel deserving, or they are not open to accepting the good that is offered to them. You must believe that you are worthy of receiving all the blessings the universe has for you. When you are open to receiving, you allow the universe to deliver your blessings in ways you may never have imagined. If you constantly push away opportunities or gifts, you block the flow. But when you embrace the good that comes your way with gratitude and openness, you invite more blessings into your life. Remember, you are not separate from your blessings. You are one with them. They are already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. The only thing that stands between you and your blessings is your ability to align with the truth of who you are. When you align with your true essence, with the divine within you, your blessings will flow freely. There is no limit to what you can receive, no limit to the abundance that is available to you. The key is to believe in your worthiness, to trust the process, and to open yourself to the flow of divine blessings. When you do this, you will experience a life of fulfillment, peace, and abundance beyond your wildest dreams. When you start to understand that life is an energy exchange, you realize that you are a vessel through which blessings flow. The energy you emit is what determines the quality of the blessings you receive. If you are vibrating at a frequency of gratitude, peace, and love, you attract more of the same. But if your energy is one of fear, resentment, or bitterness, you close yourself off from the abundance that is all around you. Your external world is simply a reflection of your internal world. If you want to see change, you must first create it within. It is essential to pay attention to the energy you are sending out. Every time you hold a negative thought or emotion, you create a blockage that limits the flow of your blessings. Every time you entertain a thought of lack or limitation, you strengthen that energy and keep it alive in your reality. But when you choose to focus on abundance, on what you have rather than what you don't, you send out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. The key is to align your inner energy with the blessings you desire. You must become a magnet for those blessings by vibrating at the same frequency as the abundance you seek. Your thoughts and feelings are constantly creating. They are shaping your world whether you are aware of it or not. This is why it's crucial to monitor your thoughts and feelings, to consciously direct them toward what you want rather than what you fear. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest enemy if not kept in check. If you allow your thoughts to run wild, unchecked by awareness, they will create more of the things you don't want. The first step is to take control of your mind. Recognize the thoughts that are not serving you and replace them with ones that support your vision of your ideal life. It may take time, but the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to stay focused on your desired outcomes. The power of your imagination cannot be overstated. Your imagination is a direct connection to the creative force of the universe. When you use your imagination to visualize the life you desire, you are tapping into that creative energy and directing it toward your goals. But imagination alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by belief and action. When you imagine, believe, and act, you create a powerful force that propels you toward your desires. The universe is always responding to your energy, to the pictures you hold in your mind, and the emotions you associate with them. Another key aspect of unlocking your blessings is surrendering control. Many people block their blessings because they feel the need to control every aspect of their lives. They are afraid of uncertainty and the unknown, and so they try to force things to happen according to their own timeline. But when you try to control everything, you create resistance. Resistance is the opposite of flow. When you surrender to the process, when you trust that everything is unfolding for your highest good, you allow the universe to step in and guide you to your blessings. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting the wisdom of the universe and letting go of the need to force things into being. There is a deep wisdom in learning to let go of expectations. Expectations are often the very thing that blocks our blessings because they create attachment to a specific outcome. When you attach yourself to a certain way that things should unfold, you limit the possibilities that can come your way. The universe works in mysterious ways, and sometimes what you think is best for you may not be the highest good for you. By releasing your attachment to expectations, you open yourself up to the endless possibilities that the universe can deliver. Another key to unlocking your blessings is being in a state of joy and celebration. When you are in a state of joy, you are aligned with the energy of abundance. Joy is the natural frequency of the universe, and when you tap into it, you attract more reasons to feel joyful. Too many people wait for their circumstances to change before they feel joy. But the truth is, joy is a choice. It is a state of being, not a result of external circumstances. When you choose to be happy and grateful for what you have, you open the door for more blessings to flow into your life. The more joy you embody, the more you allow the universe to bless you. Gratitude is another essential key to unlocking your blessings. Gratitude is a powerful force that aligns you with the abundance of the universe. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you shift your energy into one of abundance rather than lack. Gratitude is the recognition that you already have everything you need in order to be happy and successful. It is the acknowledgement that your blessings are already here, even if they have not yet fully manifested in your physical reality. When you live in a state of gratitude, you create a magnetic energy that attracts more reasons to be grateful. One of the most important things you can do to unblock your blessings is to release judgment. Judgment of others, judgment of yourself, judgment of your circumstances. All of these create an energetic block that keeps you from receiving. Judgment comes from a place of fear, and when you judge, you are energetically separating yourself from the very thing you desire. To release judgment is to release fear. It is to see yourself and others as divine beings who are worthy of love, compassion, and blessings. When you let go of judgment, you create an open space for blessings to enter your life without resistance. Forgiveness plays a major role in unlocking your blessings. Holding on to grudges and resentment is like holding a heavy weight that prevents you from moving forward. It is a block that keeps you trapped in the past, preventing you from experiencing the fullness of the present moment. Forgiveness is a choice to release the past and free yourself from the emotional burden of old wounds. It is not about excusing the actions of others, but about freeing yourself from the grip of negative emotions. When you forgive, you make room for love and peace to enter your heart, and in doing so, you unlock the flow of blessings. Trust in the power of divine timing. Many people block their blessings because they are impatient, demanding that things unfold on their timeline. But the truth is that the universe knows exactly when the right time is for you to receive your blessings. There is a divine plan unfolding in your life, and everything is happening in perfect timing. Trust that everything is coming to you at the right time, in the right way, and that nothing is being withheld from you. The more you trust in the divine timing of your life, the more you will experience peace, and the more blessings you will receive. By releasing fear, doubt, judgment, and attachment, and by cultivating a mindset of abundance, joy, and gratitude, you open the floodgates for your blessings to flow freely. It is not that the blessings are being withheld from you, but rather that you are the key to unlocking them. You have the power within you to change your circumstances, to create the life you desire, and to experience the blessings that are already yours. When you step into your power, when you align with the divine energy within you, nothing can stop the flow of abundance into your life. The blessings are waiting for you to claim them, and when you do, you will experience a life beyond your wildest dreams. The moment you realize that you are the creator of your own reality, the shackles of limitation begin to fall away. You see, the universe is vast and abundant, and it is always ready to deliver to you the desires of your heart. But the key to unlocking this abundance lies in your own ability to align yourself with the flow of divine energy. When you begin to understand the power of your thoughts and emotions, you realize that everything in your life is a reflection of what you are vibrating. Too many of us have been conditioned to believe that the world outside of us is the determining factor in our experience, that we must work hard, struggle, and chase after success in order to receive what we want. But in truth, it is not your actions alone that manifest your desires. It is the energy you project into the world that determines what you attract. When you stop blocking your blessings by living in a state of fear, lack, or resistance, you allow the universe to step in and deliver what is rightfully yours. Think of yourself as a magnet, constantly attracting energy that matches your internal state. If you are constantly focused on what you don't have, on what is missing from your life, you are creating an energetic field of lack, and that is what you will attract. But when you shift your focus to gratitude, abundance, and what is already good in your life, you begin to change the frequency you are emitting. Sam Bantingham, you start to attract more of what you want. The universe operates on the law of attraction, and this law responds to the energy you are putting out. If you find yourself constantly worried about money, love, or success, you are inadvertently blocking the flow of these things into your life. Worry is an emotion of lack. It tells the universe that you do not trust the abundance that is available to you. It creates a mental and emotional block that keeps you stuck in a cycle of scarcity. But when you learn to trust that everything you need will come to you at the right time, you begin to shift that energy. Trust is a powerful force. It is the faith that the universe has your back, that everything is unfolding perfectly, and that you are always supported. When you trust in the flow of life, you open the doors for your blessings to come rushing in. Another common block to receiving blessings is the belief that you are not worthy of them. So many people struggle with feelings of unworthiness, believing that they must prove themselves or earn their blessings. But this is a misconception. The truth is that you were born worthy. You are a divine being, created in the image of abundance and love. There is nothing you need to do to earn your blessing. The moment you accept this truth and release the idea that you have to work for everything, you begin to align with the energy of grace. This energy flows freely to you without condition or restriction. You are worthy of love, success, and abundance, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Letting go of control is also a major key to unlocking your blessings. Many people block their blessings because they feel the need to control every outcome. They feel that if they don't manage every aspect of their lives, things will go wrong. But the truth is that the more you try to control things, the more you create resistance. Resistance is a barrier to the flow of abundance. It is a belief that you have to make things happen on your own, rather than trusting in the natural flow of life. When you let go of the need to control, you surrender to the greater wisdom of the universe. You allow life to unfold with ease and grace. In that surrender, blessings can flow to you effortlessly. Many people also block their blessings because they are constantly seeking external validation. They rely on the opinions of others to feel worthy, loved, or successful. But the truth is that your worth comes from within. It does not depend on the approval of others. When you stop seeking validation from outside sources and instead cultivate self-love and confidence, you become magnetic to the blessings that are meant for you. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone because you know, deep down, that you are enough, just as you are. The energy of resentment is another powerful block to receiving blessings. Resentment keeps you anchored to the past, to old wounds and unresolved emotions. When you hold on to resentment, you are holding on to negative energy that weighs you down. It clouds your judgment, fills your heart with bitterness, and prevents you from seeing the good that is all around you. Forgiveness is the antidote to resentment. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional prison you have created. When you forgive, you release the grip of the past and make room for new blessings to enter your life. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself, not to the person who has wronged you. It is the key that unlocks the door to peace, love, and abundance. In order to truly unblock your blessings, you must also release any fear of change. Change is a natural part of life, yet so many people fear it. They fear stepping out of their comfort zones, trying new things, or taking risks. But the truth is that growth only comes through change. If you want to receive new blessings, you must be willing to let go of old habits, old beliefs, and old ways of thinking. And change is the catalyst for transformation. When you embrace change, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You allow the universe to guide you to greater heights. Sometimes we block our blessings because we are afraid of success. We are afraid of stepping into the fullness of who we are and living a life of abundance. Success can bring its own set of challenges, and many people fear that they won't be able to handle it. But the truth is that you are more than capable of handling everything that comes your way. The universe does not give you blessings that you are not prepared for. It will always provide what you need when you need it. The more you step into your power and trust that you can handle whatever comes your way, the more blessings you will attract. Another powerful block to blessings is the habit of comparing yourself to others. When you look around and see others achieving their goals or receiving the blessings you desire, it can trigger feelings of envy, jealousy, or inadequacy. These emotions are rooted in the belief that there is not enough for everyone, that someone else's success takes away from your own. But the truth is that the universe is limitless. There is enough abundance for everyone. Your blessings are unique to you, and no one can take them away. When you stop comparing yourself to others and instead focus on your own journey, you align with the energy of abundance. In order to unlock the full potential of your blessings, you must also be willing to take action. Manifestation is not just about thinking positively or waiting for things to magically appear. It requires inspired action. It requires you to step forward in faith, trusting that the universe will meet you halfway. Action is the bridge between desire and manifestation. When you take action toward your goals, you are showing the universe that you are ready to receive. The more you act in alignment with your desires, the more opportunities will present themselves. Patience is an essential quality in the process of receiving your blessings. Many people block their blessings by being too impatient, demanding that things happen on their timeline. But the truth is that divine timing is always perfect. Everything unfolds in its own time. When you learn to trust the process and allow things to happen naturally, you open yourself up to the perfect flow. Patience is not about waiting passively. It is about having faith that everything is unfolding as it should. When you align yourself with the energy of abundance, trust in divine timing, let go of fear, judgment, and resentment, and take inspired action, you open the doors for the blessings that are already yours to come flooding in. The universe is waiting to bless you, but you must first be willing to receive. The key is to stop blocking the flow and open yourself to the endless possibilities that await you. When you do, your life will transform in ways you never imagined possible. Your blessings are already on their way. All you need to do is get out of your own way and allow them to enter. You see, so many of us have been taught to live in a state of limitation, to believe that resources are scarce and that we must fight for everything we get. This mindset comes from a place of fear, a belief that there is only so much to go around. But in truth, there is an infinite abundance in the universe. Everything that you could ever want or need already exists, waiting for you to align with it. The universe does not withhold blessings. It is always ready to provide. However, it is our own thoughts, emotions, and beliefs that often stand in the way. The moment you begin to recognize that everything is energy, you begin to understand the immense power you hold in shaping your reality. Your thoughts are energy, your emotions are energy, and when these energies are in harmony with the divine flow of life, blessings are drawn to you like magnets. It is not about striving and pushing. It is about becoming a vibrational match to the things you desire. When you align yourself with the energy of abundance, the universe responds with generosity. One of the most common ways people block their blessings is through self-doubt. Doubt is a powerful force that can undermine your potential faster than anything else. When you doubt yourself, you send out a message to the universe that you do not trust in your own worth, and that vibration can stop blessings from entering your life. Doubt is the opposite of faith. Faith is the unwavering belief that everything is working out for you, even when you cannot yet see the evidence. Doubt, on the other hand, keeps you locked in a state of confusion, uncertainty, and fear. The moment you shift from doubt to faith, you unlock the doors to your blessings. Faith is the key that allows the universe to bring your desires into physical reality. Another major block to receiving blessings is holding on to the past. We often let our past experiences shape our beliefs and expectations, and in doing so, we limit our ability to receive new blessings. If you've experienced hardship, failure, or disappointment in the past, it's easy to carry that energy with you into your present and future. But the past has no power over you unless you allow it to. Every moment is a new opportunity to create something different. When you let go of the stories you've been telling yourself about the past, you free yourself to experience new possibilities. You are not defined by your past experiences. You are free to create a new story, a new reality. The key is to release the emotional attachments to the past and embrace the present moment, knowing that you have the power to create the future you desire. In order to receive blessings, it's essential to be open to them. So many people unknowingly block their blessings by closing themselves off to new opportunities. When you have a closed mind or closed heart, it's like placing a wall between yourself and the good things that are waiting for you. The universe will only bring you what you are willing to receive. If you are resistant to change, to new experiences, or to new people, you are limiting the flow of blessings into your life. So openness is a key ingredient in the manifestation process. When you are open to all possibilities, you allow the universe to bring you the best of what it has to offer. The fear of failure is another powerful block to blessings. Many people are afraid to take the necessary steps toward their dreams because they are afraid of failing. They fear rejection, criticism, or making mistakes. But the truth is that failure is a necessary part of growth. Every failure is simply a lesson in disguise, a stepping stone toward success. When you fear failure, you hold yourself back from taking action. But when you embrace failure as a natural part of the process, you free yourself to take bold steps toward your dreams. Every mistake, every setback is just an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. The only true failure is the failure to try. Another significant block to receiving blessings is the tendency to control everything. Many people feel that if they do not control every aspect of their lives, things will fall apart. But in reality, the more you try to control, the more you create resistance. Resistance blocks the flow of blessings. When you try to control every outcome, you send the message to the universe that you do not trust its timing, that you do not trust that everything will unfold perfectly. Control creates tension, stress, and anxiety. The key to unlocking your blessings is to surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up or being passive. It means releasing the need to force things to happen. Surrender is an act of trust. It is the willingness to let go of the need to control every detail and to trust that the universe knows what is best for you. When you surrender, you allow the natural flow of life to take over, and in that flow, blessings can easily find their way to you. Sometimes, the very act of being attached to a specific outcome can block your blessings. When you focus too much on how or when something will happen, you limit the potential of how it could manifest. The universe is limitless, and it has infinite ways of bringing your desires to you. When you release attachment to a specific outcome, you open yourself up to the many ways the universe can deliver your blessings. Trust that the best possible outcome will come to you, even if it is different from what you had originally imagined. Let go of the need to control the details, and simply allow life to unfold in the most beautiful and surprising ways. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can use to unblock your blessings. When you focus on what you already have, you create a positive energy that attracts more of the same. Gratitude is an acknowledgement of the abundance that already exists in your life. When you practice gratitude, you send out a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. The more you are grateful for, the more you will have to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your energy from lack to abundance, from scarcity to plenty. It is impossible to be in a state of gratitude and still feel blocked. Gratitude opens the door to blessings, allowing them to flow freely into your life. Another block to receiving blessings is the habit of negative thinking. When you constantly think negative thoughts, you create a vibration of resistance. Negative thoughts send out a signal to the universe that you are not open to receiving the good that is available to you. If you want to receive blessings, you must first change your thinking. The mind is a powerful tool, and it can either work for you or against you. When you choose positive thoughts, you align yourself with the energy of abundance. Positive thinking opens your mind to new possibilities and attracts the good things you desire. When you focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, you shift your energy and become a magnet for blessings. As you continue to grow and evolve, you will begin to realize that the key to unlocking your blessings is not about changing your external circumstances. It is about changing your internal state. The more you cultivate a mindset of abundance, trust, gratitude, and faith, the more you will see your reality shift. The universe responds to your energy, not your circumstances. When you align yourself with the energy of your desires, you create an unstoppable flow of blessings in your life. The key is to stop blocking the flow and to trust that everything you desire is already on its way. Release your fears, let go of doubt, and open yourself to the infinite abundance that surrounds you. The universe is always ready to deliver. All you need to do is allow it to. The power to unlock the blessings in your life lies within you. It is not about waiting for something outside of yourself to change. It is about transforming your internal world and aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the abundance that already exists. Every moment is an opportunity to release the blocks that have kept you from receiving all that you deserve. Let go of doubt, fear, attachment, and the need for control. Embrace trust, surrender, faith, and gratitude. When you shift your energy and open your heart, the universe responds with generosity. The blessings you seek are already on their way to you. Simply open the doors by aligning yourself with the flow of divine abundance. Your desires are not out of reach. They are waiting for you to become a vibrational match to them. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and trust in the divine timing of your life. The moment you stop blocking your blessings, you will begin to see the miracle of abundance unfold in your life in ways you never thought possible. God often allows trials to come into our lives not to destroy us, but to refine us. When you are on the brink of a breakthrough, the challenges you face are not by accident. They are a test of faith, a measure of endurance, and a preparation for the blessing that lies ahead. These moments are not signs of abandonment, but of divine preparation. One sign that God is testing you is when everything around you seems to be falling apart. The doors that once opened with ease now remain shut. Relationships that once brought joy may turn cold. Opportunities that seemed certain may slip through your fingers. It is in these moments that doubt creeps in, whispering lies that God has forgotten you. But He has not. The enemy wants you to believe that delay means denial. But God is orchestrating something greater behind the scenes. He is teaching you to trust in Him alone, not in your own understanding. Another sign is when your faith is stretched beyond what you think you can handle. You pray, but heaven seems silent. You seek answers, but they do not come in the way you expect. You feel as though you are walking through the valley of the shadow of death, with no clear path ahead. But remember, faith is not built in comfort, it is forged in trials. The silence of God does not mean He is absent. It is in the silence that He strengthens you, drawing you closer to His presence. You may also experience increased opposition from the enemy. The moment you step closer to God's purpose, the attacks intensify. Temptations that you thought you had overcome suddenly resurface. Distractions appear to pull you away from your calling. People may misunderstand you, question your motives, and even betray you. Do not be disheartened. The enemy does not attack those who are not a threat. If the battle is great, it is because your breakthrough is near. The closer you get to God's promises, the harder the enemy fights to turn you away. But greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Another sign that God is testing you is when he asks you to let go of something you deeply cherish. He may call you to walk away from a comfortable situation, a familiar place, or a secure plan. It is not because he wants to take from you, but because he has something greater in store. Abraham was tested when he was asked to sacrifice Isaac, his promised son. But in his obedience, he discovered that God had already provided a ram in the thicket. When God asks you to surrender something, it is never to leave you empty-handed. It is to make room for something greater, something beyond what you could imagine. Another sign is the feeling of isolation. There are seasons when God removes certain people from your life, not because they are bad, but because they cannot go where he is leading you. He isolates you, not to punish you, but to refine you. The greatest revelations often come in moments of solitude. Moses encountered God alone on Mount Sinai. Jesus withdrew to pray in solitude before great moments of ministry. It might be the same with you. For when you feel isolated, know that God is drawing you into a deeper relationship with him. You will know God is testing you when he allows you to reach the very end of yourself. When your strength is gone, when you have exhausted every effort, when there is nothing left but total dependence on him, that is the moment when his power is made perfect in your weakness. It is then that you realize that the breakthrough was never about your ability, but about his grace. Do not grow weary in the testing. Do not lose heart in the trial. What you are facing is not meant to break you, but to build you. God is preparing you for the blessing ahead, shaping you into the person he has called you to be. Hold on, stay faithful, and trust in the one who never fails. God is always at work, even when we cannot see it. When trials come, they come with a purpose, shaping us, molding us, refining us like gold in the fire. The greatest blessings are often preceded by the most intense struggles, and the strongest warriors are not forged in ease, but in adversity. Every test you face is not a sign of God's absence, but his presence. He allows these moments to stretch your faith, to prepare you for the destiny he has laid out for you. If you are experiencing trials that seem too great to bear, take heart. Your breakthrough is near. One of the greatest signs that God is testing you before your breakthrough is when everything familiar begins to shift. The places, people, and routines that once brought comfort may suddenly feel uncertain. It can feel as if the very foundation you stood on is being shaken. But God does not shake your life to destroy you. He does it to remove what is weak, so that only what is strong remains. When everything around you begins to shift, it is often a sign that he is leading you into something new, something greater. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it is preparation. God is pulling you away from what is temporary, so he can establish you in something eternal. There will be moments when the very people you trusted the most turn away. Friendships may dissolve, relationships may falter, and those who once supported you may suddenly distance themselves. This is not by accident. When God is taking you to a new level, not everyone can go with you. Some people were only meant to be part of your journey for a season. And when their purpose in your life has been fulfilled, God moves them out of the way. It is painful, but it is necessary. Do not chase after what God is trying to remove. If he is allowing separation, it is because he has something better. He sees the hearts of men, and he knows what is hidden. He is protecting you, even when it feels like rejection. Another sign that God is testing you is when you are required to wait longer than expected. Waiting is one of the hardest tests of faith. You pray, you believe, you trust, but the answer does not come. The delay feels endless and doubts creep in, whispering that perhaps God has forgotten you. But He has not. His timing is perfect and He never rushes. When God makes you wait, it is not to deny you, but to develop you. Waiting teaches you patience, builds endurance, and strengthens your reliance on Him. It refines your character so that when the breakthrough finally arrives, you are ready to handle it. Many people want the blessing, but they do not want the preparation. But God will not give you something prematurely, for He knows that what comes too soon can be lost too easily. If you are waiting, trust that He is working. There will also be times when God allows you to feel completely alone. The voices that once encouraged you may grow silent, and the support you once leaned on may disappear. It may feel as if no one understands what you are going through, but this loneliness is not to harm you, it is to draw you closer to Him. Throughout Scripture, God often called His servants into isolation before He elevated them. Moses was alone in the wilderness before he led Israel to freedom. Joseph was alone in a prison before he was placed in a position of power. Jesus was alone in the wilderness before He began His ministry. If you are in a season of solitude, do not despise it. It is in these moments that God whispers His greatest revelations. When God is testing you, you may find that the very things you once found easy now seem difficult. Prayer may feel dry, worship may feel distant, and your faith may feel weak. You may begin to question whether you have done something wrong. But this is not a punishment, it is a test of perseverance. Will you still pray when you do not feel anything? Will you still trust Him when the answers do not come right away? Faith is not proven in moments of ease. It is proven in moments of struggle. Anyone can believe when the blessings are flowing, but true faith is revealed when there is no evidence, no sign, and yet you still believe. Another sign that God is testing you is when temptations arise stronger than ever before. The enemy knows when you are on the verge of a breakthrough, and he will do everything in his power to stop you. Temptations that you thought you had conquered will resurface. Old habits may try to return. The enemy will present distractions, trying to lure you away from your purpose. But these are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are closer than ever to what God has promised. Do not give in. Do not be deceived. Stand firm in righteousness, knowing that if the battle is intense, it is because the victory is near. You may also notice that your resources begin to dwindle. Financial struggles may arise, opportunities may seem scarce, and doors may close, but this too is a test. God is teaching you to rely on Him alone. He wants to be your provider, your source, your sustainer. When everything else is taken away, will you still trust Him? When the brook dries up, will you still believe He can make rivers in the desert? The provision of man is temporary, but the provision of God is eternal. He is the same God who fed Elijah through ravens, who multiplied the widow's oil, who provided manna in the wilderness. If He did it then, He can do it now. He will provide in ways you never expected, but first He must test your heart to see if your trust is in Him or in the resources He gives. When you are being tested, you may feel like your prayers are bouncing off the walls. It may seem as if heaven is silent, as if God is not answering, but silence does not mean absence. The teacher is always silent during the test. God is watching, observing, seeing how you respond. Will you keep praying even when you do not hear Him? Will you keep believing even when there is no visible sign? These are the moments that define your faith. God says, Episode 2. Sometimes the biggest test comes in the form of obedience. God may ask you to do something that makes no sense. He may call you to step out in faith, to take a risk, to walk away from something comfortable. The natural mind resists these moments because they require total trust. But obedience always precedes the breakthrough. Naaman had to dip in the Jordan 7 times before he was healed. The Israelites had to march around Jericho before the walls fell. Peter had to cast his net on the other side before he caught more fish than he could carry. Every act of obedience unlocks a greater blessing. If God is asking you to step out, do it. It may not make sense now, but on the other side of obedience is the breakthrough you have been waiting for. Another sign that God is testing you is when He allows you to reach your absolute limit. You may feel like you cannot go any further, as if you have no strength left. But this is where His power is revealed. It is when you come to the end of yourself that you see the fullness of God. Paul said, "When I am weak, then I am strong." God's strength is made perfect in weakness. When you have nothing left, that is when His grace sustains you. That is when He steps in and does what only He can do. Do not mistake the test for abandonment. Do not let the enemy convince you that God has forgotten you. He has not. Every trial is a step toward the promise. Every hardship is a preparation for what is to come. If you are being tested, it is because you are being prepared. The greater the test, the greater the testimony. Hold on, keep believing, and do not lose heart. The breakthrough is closer than you think. When you feel as though the weight of the world is pressing down on you, when the trials seem endless and the burden too heavy to carry, that is when God is at work in the deepest places of your life. The enemy would have you believe that your suffering is without purpose, that your pain is in vain, but God never allows a trial without a reason. Every storm He permits is meant to strengthen you, to refine your faith, and to bring you closer to the destiny He has prepared for you. If you are walking through a season of testing, know that your breakthrough is nearer than it has ever been before. The darkness before the dawn is always the darkest, and the enemy fights hardest when he knows the victory is close at hand. One of the most significant signs that God is testing you before your breakthrough is when you feel overwhelmed by a series of challenges that come one after another. It seems as if every time you take one step forward, something comes to push you 2 steps back. The trials come not in isolation but in waves, pressing upon you from every direction. This is not a coincidence. The enemy knows that if he can discourage you now, if he can cause you to doubt God's plan, he can keep you from stepping into the fullness of your calling. But what the enemy does not understand is that the more he tries to press you down, the stronger God is making you. Just as pressure turns coal into diamonds, the pressure of trials is refining your spirit, purifying your faith, and preparing you for the abundance God has in store. There are moments when you will feel spiritually exhausted, as though the fire that once burned brightly within you is now nothing more than a flickering ember. Your passion for prayer, for worship, for reading the Word may begin to fade, and the presence of God may feel distant. This is not because God has left you, He never leaves His children, but because He is stretching your faith. It is easy to worship when you feel His presence, but will you continue when the heavens seem silent? It is easy to trust when everything is going well, but will you trust Him in the valley? God is not testing your comfort. He is testing your commitment. Faith that is only strong in good times is not true faith at all. It must be tested in the fire, purified through the trials, and proven in the struggle. Another way God tests His children before a breakthrough is by allowing them to face situations that seem impossible. The Red Sea stood before the Israelites, and Pharaoh's army pursued them from behind. The walls of Jericho stood tall and unshaken before they crumbled. David faced a giant with only a sling and 5 stones. Time and time again, God's people have been placed in situations where victory seemed impossible. Why? Because God wanted them to see that the battle was never theirs to fight alone. He wanted them to trust not in their own strength, but in His power. When you are facing a situation that seems impossible, do not be afraid. The God who parted the sea, the God who brought down the walls, the God who gave victory to David is the same God who walks with you today. He has not changed, and He will not fail you. There are times when the doors that once seemed open suddenly close. Opportunities that seemed promising may slip away, and the path you thought you were meant to walk may become unclear. This too is a test. God is not closing doors to punish you. He is closing them to redirect you. Not every opportunity is meant for you, and not every path leads to your destiny. Sometimes God must remove the good so he can give you the best. When doors close, do not be discouraged. Instead, ask God to reveal his plan. What seems like a loss today may be the very thing that saves you from future pain. Trust that if he is closing one door, it is because he is preparing to open another, greater one. Another sign that you are being tested is when you feel as though you are standing alone, fighting battles that no one else seems to understand. It can feel as if you are walking through a wilderness, uncertain and afraid. But every great man and woman of faith has walked this road. Before Joseph entered the palace, he was thrown into a pit and left in a prison. Before Moses led the Israelites to freedom, he spent years in the desert. Before Jesus stepped into his ministry, he was led into the wilderness to be tested. The wilderness is not a place of abandonment, it is a place of preparation. God is not punishing you, he is setting you apart. If you are in a season of isolation, it is because he is doing something deep within you that requires your full attention. When God is preparing you for a breakthrough, he will often strip away everything that you once depended on. He will allow your own strength to fail so that you may learn to rely fully on him. This is a painful process, but it is necessary. The Apostle Paul said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." It is in the moments of greatest weakness that God's strength is most clearly revealed. When you have nothing left, when you feel as though you cannot go on, that is when he steps in and carries you. The breakthrough is not about what you can do, it is about what he can do through you. During times of testing, the enemy will whisper lies into your mind. He will tell you that you are not good enough, that you have made too many mistakes, that God has forgotten you. But the enemy is a liar, and he only attacks what he fears. If he is trying to fill your mind with doubt, it is because he knows that God's plan for your life is too great to stop. Do not believe the lies. Stand firm in the truth of God's word. You are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, and you are not fighting alone. One of the greatest signs that your breakthrough is near is when you experience a deep inner transformation. The trials you have faced have changed you. The struggles have made you stronger. The waiting has deepened your faith. You are not the same person you were when this journey began. And that is the point. God does not just want to give you a breakthrough. He wants to make you into someone who can sustain the blessing when it arrives. Many people want the reward, but they are not ready for the responsibility that comes with it. But God, in his infinite wisdom, will not bless you before you are prepared. He is working in you, shaping you, and molding you into the person he has called you to be. If you are walking through a season of testing, take heart. Every struggle, every challenge, every moment of pain is leading you somewhere. The testing of your faith is producing perseverance, and perseverance will lead to the fulfillment of God's promises. Do not give up. Do not let go. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it arrives, you look back on this season and see that every trial was worth it. When God is testing you before your breakthrough, you may find yourself surrounded by silence, as if your prayers are going unheard. You cry out to God, but it seems as though the heavens are closed. You seek answers, but none come. This silence is not an absence, it is a divine strategy. God's silence is not his rejection. He is watching, refining, and strengthening you. When a teacher is silent during a test, it does not mean the teacher has abandoned the student. It means the student already has everything they need to pass. God has already equipped you with faith, wisdom, and his promises. This silence is not to destroy you, but to build your endurance. The breakthrough is on the other side of your unwavering trust. When God prepares you for something greater, he will allow delays to test your patience. You have prayed, fasted, and waited, yet the answer seems far away. The waiting season can feel unbearable, but it is never wasted. God does not delay without reason. He sees what you do not. He knows the perfect timing for every blessing. If Joseph had been released from prison too soon, he would have missed his divine appointment with Pharaoh. If David had taken the throne before the right time, he would not have been ready to lead. Sometimes God keeps you in a waiting season because he's aligning things beyond what you can see. Waiting is not punishment, it is preparation. God's tests often come disguised as disappointment. The opportunity you wanted falls through. The person you trusted betrays you. The dream you worked for crumbles before your eyes. These moments shake you to the core, making you question everything. But God does not take away to harm you. He removes to replace. What you lost was never meant to be your foundation. The things and people that were removed were not aligned with your destiny. Your self-imprisonment. If you saw what God was preparing for you, you would understand why certain things had to fall apart. Every disappointment is a divine redirection. Trust that what is ahead is far greater than what is behind. Before a breakthrough, God often exposes the hidden battles within your heart. He allows pressure to reveal what is inside. Fear, pride, impatience, and doubt come to the surface, not to condemn you, but to free you. God cannot take you to the next level with baggage that will weigh you down. He is purifying your heart so that when the blessing arrives, it will not destroy you. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness for 40 years because their hearts were not ready for the promised land. God had to remove the mindset of slavery before they could walk in victory. Sometimes the greatest battle before the breakthrough is not external, but internal. God is dealing with your heart, shaping you, refining you, and making sure that when the blessing comes, you will be able to sustain it. Spiritual warfare intensifies before a breakthrough. The enemy knows you are close to stepping into a new level of faith, purpose, and favor. He will throw distractions, temptations, and discouragement your way. He will try to make you question everything God has promised you. When the attacks become relentless, it is not a sign to give up, but a sign to press in. The enemy does not attack those who are not a threat. If you are facing spiritual warfare, it is because your destiny is too great for the enemy to ignore. But the battle is not yours. It belongs to God. Stand firm, put on the full armor of God, and know that no weapon formed against you will prosper. Another sign of testing is when God asks you to let go of something that you thought you needed. It could be a relationship, a job, a habit, or even a dream you have held on to for years. He will ask you to surrender it, not because he wants to leave you empty, but because he wants to fill you with something greater. Abraham was asked to lay Isaac on the altar, the very son God had promised him. It was a test of trust, of obedience, of faith, and in the end, God provided the sacrifice. Sometimes what God asks you to release is not meant to be taken away forever. It is meant to test your heart. Do you trust the gift more than the giver? Can you release it knowing that if it is truly from God, he will return it in his perfect way? The willingness to surrender is what prepares you for the next level. Many times, before a breakthrough, your faith will be stretched to the limit. You will be placed in situations where you have no choice but to rely on God completely. The resources may run dry, the support may fade, and every plan you had may fail. But this is not a place of defeat. It is a place of dependence. God is removing everything that would allow you to take credit for the victory. He is making sure that when the breakthrough comes, you will know beyond a doubt that it was by his power and not your own. When you are stripped of every earthly support, that is when you will see the hand of God move like never before. God will also test your response to others during your season of trial. Will you remain kind when you are mistreated? Will you continue to love when you are betrayed? Will you encourage others when you yourself feel discouraged? How you handle the people around you in difficult times reveals your heart. It is easy to love when things are going well, but true faith is shown when you choose to love, to forgive, and to bless, even when it is difficult. Joseph had every reason to be bitter towards his brothers, but when his breakthrough came, he forgave them and saw the hand of God in it all. Your ability to love in the midst of trials is a sign that you are truly prepared for what God has ahead. One of the final tests before a breakthrough is the test of perseverance. The enemy's greatest strategy is to make you quit just before the promise comes. He wants to make you so tired, so discouraged, so weary that you give up. But the Bible says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." The harvest is coming, but it is reserved for those who endure. You may feel exhausted. You may wonder if all the effort has been worth it. But this is the moment to press in even harder. The enemy knows how close you are. That is why he is fighting so hard. But greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Keep going, keep believing, keep trusting. Everything you have walked through, every tear you have cried, every battle you have faced is leading to something greater than you can imagine. God is not a man that he should lie. If he has spoken a promise over your life, he will fulfill it. The testing is not to break you, but to make you ready. When the breakthrough comes, you will see that every moment of struggle was not wasted. Building, you will look back and realize that God was with you all along, shaping you, preparing you, and leading you to the place he has destined for you. Hold on. Your breakthrough is coming. When God is preparing you for something greater, he will allow you to face circumstances that seem impossible. You may feel as though you're standing before a Red Sea with no way forward, yet behind you the pressures of life press in, threatening to overtake you. It is in these moments that God shows his power in ways beyond human understanding. He parts the waters, he makes a way where there was none, and he proves that no obstacle is too great for him. But before the miracle comes the test. Will you trust him when you cannot see the way? Will you stand firm when everything in you wants to give up? God is not asking you to understand, he is asking you to believe. The breakthrough does not come when everything makes sense. It comes when faith stands in the face of the impossible and declares that God is able. There will be times when you feel completely alone, as if no one understands what you are going through. You may find that people who once stood by your side are now distant. Friends may walk away, family may not understand, and those you trusted may turn against you. But solitude is not abandonment, it is refinement. God will allow seasons where you must stand alone so that you learn to depend on him alone. Even Jesus, before fulfilling his greatest purpose, was led into the wilderness alone. If you find yourself in a season where it feels like no one is with you, know that God has not left you. He is drawing you closer, strengthening you for what is to come. There are moments before a breakthrough where it feels as though nothing is happening. You pray, but there is no immediate response. You seek, but there is no visible sign. The danger in these moments is to assume that silence means inactivity. But God does his greatest work beneath the surface. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. It remains hidden in the soil while its roots grow deep. If it is uprooted too soon, it will never reach its full potential. Likewise, God is working beneath the surface of your life. What he is doing may not be visible yet, but it is necessary. When the time is right, you will see the fruit of what he has been cultivating in secret. Trust the process. Trust the unseen hand of God, moving in ways beyond your understanding. And God will often test your obedience before releasing your breakthrough. He may ask you to step into something that does not make sense, to move when it feels uncomfortable, or to take action when you feel unqualified. The blessing is on the other side of obedience. When Jesus told Peter to cast his net after an entire night of failure, Peter had every reason to doubt. He had worked hard with no results. Yet, in obedience, he cast the net again, and the result was a catch so great it nearly sank the boat. Obedience does not always make sense in the moment, but it is always the path to abundance. When God asks you to take a step of faith, do not hesitate. His instruction is not to harm you, but to position you for the breakthrough He has already prepared. There will be moments when your faith is stretched beyond what you think you can bear. The challenges will seem too great, the opposition too strong, and the journey too long. But faith is not about seeing, it is about believing. The enemy will whisper that you are not strong enough, not good enough, not capable enough. He will try to plant doubt in your heart, making you question whether God will truly come through. But God does not bring you to the edge of a breakthrough only to leave you there. He is the author and the finisher of your faith. If He started a work in you, He will complete it. The pressure you feel is not a sign of defeat, it is a sign that something is about to shift. The greatest opposition always comes before the greatest outpouring. Sometimes God will remove every earthly security you rely on so that you learn to depend on Him completely. The things you once leaned on may no longer hold you up. The resources you counted on may dry up. The opportunities you thought were guaranteed may disappear. But this is not a punishment. It is a setup for greater provision. When Elijah was by the brook, God provided for him through ravens. But there came a time when the brook dried up, not because God abandoned him, but because God was shifting him to a new season of provision. If something in your life has dried up, do not panic. It simply means God is moving you to a new place of blessing. The source may change, but the provider remains the same. He is still Jehovah Jireh, your provider. The enemy will do everything in his power to make you quit just before your breakthrough. He will use discouragement, distractions, and even doubt to weaken your resolve. But this is the moment to stand your ground. The enemy would not be fighting so hard if he did not see what God was about to release in your life. He knows that if you endure, if you refuse to quit, if you hold on just a little longer, the breakthrough will manifest. That is why the attacks have intensified. That is why the pressure has increased, because you are on the verge of stepping into something greater. Do not let temporary pain rob you of an eternal promise. Hold fast. Stand firm. Your victory is near. One of the greatest tests before a breakthrough is the test of gratitude. Can you thank God before the miracle happens? Can you worship Him in the waiting? It is easy to praise God after the breakthrough, but true faith praises Him before. When Paul and Silas were in prison, they did not wait for the chains to fall before they worshipped. They worshipped, and then the chains fell. Their praise was not a response to victory. It was the catalyst for victory. If you can lift your hands and thank God even in the storm, you will see the doors of breakthrough swing wide open. Do not wait until you see the blessing to give Him glory. Praise Him now, for He is faithful. You may feel as though you are being pressed on every side, but remember this: pressure precedes promotion. The greater the calling, the greater the preparation. The enemy does not attack the ordinary. He attacks those who are destined for something extraordinary. The challenges you are facing are not a sign that you are forgotten, but a sign that you are chosen. God is molding you, refining you, and positioning you for something beyond what you can imagine. Do not lose heart. Do not give up. Everything you have endured has been leading to this moment. The testing is temporary, but the breakthrough will be lasting. Hold on, for God is about to do something in your life that will leave no doubt. He was with you all along. The moments before a breakthrough are often filled with the greatest battles. The weight of trials seems heavier, and the voices of doubt grow louder. You may find yourself asking, Lord, why is this happening? Why does it feel like everything is falling apart when I have been faithful? But do not be deceived by how things appear. The enemy attacks hardest when he knows you are closest to a divine shift. The storm is not a sign that you are forsaken. It is a sign that you are stepping into something the enemy does not want you to receive. When Jesus and his disciples were crossing the sea, a violent storm arose, shaking their boat and filling their hearts with fear. But what they did not understand was that on the other side of the storm was deliverance, healing, and freedom. The storm was not meant to destroy them. It was meant to distract them from the breakthrough waiting on the shore. If you find yourself in the middle of a storm, do not focus on the waves. Focus on the one who calms them. The refining fire of trials is never easy, but it is necessary. Gold is purified in fire, and faith is strengthened in adversity. God is preparing you for something greater than you can see. He allows these tests not to break you, but to build you. Every challenge is shaping you, every delay is refining you, and every hardship is deepening your dependence on Him. When you feel as though you're being stretched beyond your limit, remember that God is not trying to destroy you. He is strengthening you for the blessing ahead. A tree's roots must go deep before it can withstand strong winds. Likewise, God is rooting you in faith, making sure that when the breakthrough comes, you will be ready to carry it. Many times, before God releases His promises, He will ask you to let go of something. It could be a relationship, a job, a mindset, or even a comfort zone. Abraham was tested in this way when God asked him to sacrifice Isaac, the very son he had waited for. It made no sense. It seemed unfair. Yet Abraham obeyed, trusting that God would provide, and He did. The provision was waiting, but the test came first. God will often require you to surrender something precious before He places something greater in your hands. If He is asking you to release something in this season, do not resist. What He has for you is far greater than what you are holding on to. Sometimes the delay itself is the test. It is easy to trust God when things happen quickly, but what about when the waiting stretches on? Joseph had a dream of greatness, yet before he saw it fulfilled, he endured betrayal, false accusations, and years of waiting in a prison cell. He could have given up. He could have become bitter, but instead he remained faithful. And when the time was right, in a single day, he went from the prison to the palace. If you are in a season of waiting, know that God is not delaying to punish you. He is preparing you. The waiting is not wasted. The waiting is where character is built, faith is strengthened, and endurance is developed. Do not despise the waiting, for it is leading you into something far greater than you imagined. The enemy will try to plant fear in your heart right before your breakthrough. He will try to make you afraid of failure, afraid of stepping out, afraid of believing too much. But fear is a liar. Fear does not come from God. Every great move of God in the Bible began with someone overcoming fear through faith. When Joshua stood before the promised land, he was told, "Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." God did not promise Joshua that the journey would be easy. He promised that He would be with him. The same is true for you. Do not let fear rob you of what God has for you. Walk forward in faith, knowing that He goes before you, making a way where there is none. The greatest breakthroughs often come after the hardest seasons. Jesus Himself endured the cross before the resurrection. The pain came before the victory. The suffering came before the glory. And the same pattern follows in the life of every believer. The enemy will try to convince you that the trial means God has abandoned you. But the opposite is true. The trial is proof that you are on the path to something greater. If you could see what was waiting on the other side, you would not doubt, you would rejoice. Do not let the darkness of the present moment convince you that the light is not coming. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. There will be moments when you feel exhausted from the battle. You have prayed, you have fasted, you have stood in faith, yet the answer seems distant. The weight of discouragement presses down, and the temptation to give up is strong. But now is not the time to quit. The enemy wants to wear you down, to make you so weary that you let go right before the promise manifests. But do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you will reap if you do not give up. Strengthen yourself in the Lord. Encourage yourself in His promises. He has never failed, and He will not start now. There will be tests that make you question whether you are truly on the right path. The obstacles may seem insurmountable, and the road may appear blocked. But God is not limited by human barriers. What seems impossible to you is nothing to him. The Red Sea did not stop the Israelites. The walls of Jericho did not stop Joshua. The lions did not stop Daniel. And the fire did not consume the 3 Hebrew boys. But in every obstacle you face is simply an opportunity for God to reveal his power in your life. Stand firm, trust him, and watch him move. Right before the breakthrough, there is often a moment where everything in you wants to turn back. The pressure is intense, the struggle is real, and the enemy whispers that it would be easier to quit. But do not listen. If you quit now, you will miss what God has been preparing for you. The enemy only fights what he fears. The very fact that you are facing this battle means that the breakthrough is closer than you realize. Keep pressing forward, keep believing, keep standing. You are on the verge of something greater. God has not forgotten you. He has not abandoned you. Every tear you have cried, every battle you have fought, and every test you have endured has been seen by him. He is working all things together for your good. Do not lose heart. Do not give up. The breakthrough is coming. Hold on just a little longer. Trust him, for he is faithful. There will be moments when the silence feels overwhelming, when it seems as though your prayers are hitting the ceiling and falling back to the ground unanswered. You call out to God, but all you hear is the echo of your own voice. This silence is not abandonment, it is preparation. The teacher is always silent during the test. God does not need to prove himself over and over again. He is already faithful. But in these moments of silence, he is watching to see if you will trust him without signs, if you will believe without immediate evidence, if you will stand firm when everything around you tells you to fall. The enemy wants you to believe that God's silence means he has left you, but that is a lie. He is closer than ever. When a seed is planted in the ground, it appears buried, hidden beneath the soil, but deep within it is taking root. Growth is happening even when nothing is visible. In the same way, your faith is being strengthened beneath the surface. Do not mistake silence for absence. God is working in the unseen, aligning things in the spiritual realm before they manifest in the physical. Your job is to trust, to believe, to endure. There will be trials that feel unfair, tests that seem unnecessary, losses that appear unbearable. You may find yourself looking at the situation and thinking, "Why, Lord? Why would you allow this?" Job asked this very question when everything was stripped away from him: his health, his wealth, his family, his reputation. His friends accused him. His wife told him to curse God and die, but he refused. He held on to faith even when everything around him suggested he should let go, and in the end God restored him with double. The testing was not to destroy him, but to refine him, to prove his faith genuine. God is not just concerned with your breakthrough, it is concerned with your heart. If he were to give you everything you are asking for without first preparing you, the blessing could become a burden. He loves you too much to give you something you are not ready for. So he allows the fire not to burn you, but to purify you. He allows the struggle not to crush you, but to strengthen you. He allows the waiting not to frustrate you, but to build endurance in you. If you knew what he was protecting you from, you would thank him for the delay. If you knew what he was preparing for you, you would embrace the process with joy. Often, before the breakthrough, God will strip away every crutch you have been leaning on. He will remove the things that you thought you could not live without, so that you learn to depend on him alone. The Israelites had to go through the wilderness before they entered the promised land. In the wilderness, they learned to rely on God for daily manna, for water from the rock, for guidance by a pillar of fire and cloud. The wilderness was not meant to punish them, it was meant to prepare them. It was meant to remove their dependence on Egypt, to break their reliance on the world's ways, and to teach them that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. If you are in a wilderness season, do not despise it. God is teaching you something you will need for the next level. He is removing the things that would hold you back so that when the breakthrough comes, you will be able to sustain it. Every pruning, every loss, every uncomfortable shift is not meant to harm you. It is meant to position you. You may feel surrounded by battles on every side, but you are not fighting alone. The battle is not yours, it is the Lord's. The enemy wants to wear you down, to make you so tired that you surrender right before victory. But do not give up now. God has never lost a battle, and He will not start with you. Stand firm in faith. Declare His promises even when your situation contradicts them. Speak life over your circumstances. Do not let fear have the final word. When David faced Goliath, he did not speak about how big the giant was. He spoke about how great his God was. Your words have power. Use them to declare victory. Faith is not about what you see, it is about what you know. And what you know is that God is good. He is faithful. He is just. He does not make mistakes. He does not forget His promises. If He has spoken a word over your life, it will come to pass. Heaven and earth may pass away, but His word remains forever. Do not let temporary trials shake your eternal confidence. The storm will pass. The night will break into morning. The pain will give way to joy. Hold on to the truth, not your feelings. Feelings change, but God's word does not. Right before a breakthrough, the enemy will try to distract you. He will bring people into your life to drain your energy, situations to stir up fear, and thoughts to make you doubt. Recognize the strategy. Do not fall for the trap. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Peter walked on water until he took his eyes off Jesus and focused on the wind. The moment he shifted his focus, he began to sink. The enemy wants to shift your focus so that you drown in doubt. But keep your eyes fixed on the one who called you. He will not let you fall. You are not alone in this. Heaven is on your side. Angels are fighting for you. The prayers you have prayed have not been ignored. The tears you have cried have not gone unnoticed. God is working even when you cannot see it. The breakthrough is already set in motion. Do not quit before you see it. Do not give up before you hold it. Walk by faith, not by sight. The test is almost over. Hold on. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The trials you face are not meant to break you, but to build you, to shape you into the person God has called you to be. Every delay, every hardship, every unanswered prayer is not a sign of God's absence, but of His divine preparation. He is refining your faith, strengthening your endurance, and positioning you for the blessing He has in store. Do not let the weight of the test cause you to quit before the victory. Stand firm, keep believing, and trust that God is working all things together for your good. When the breakthrough comes, and it will come, you will look back and realize that every challenge was necessary, every struggle was worth it, and every moment of testing was leading you to something greater. Hold on to faith, for in due season you will reap if you do not give up.